is Frederick Watts.
This is Jean Watts. And this is Love in 60 Seconds.
We have been married for over 20 years.
And in that time, we have learned a few things that we'd like to share with you.
So if you're single, newlyweds, or seasoned in marriage, we think you will enjoy the upcoming program.
Absolutely. And we want you to like, engage, share, and do all of those wonderful things that we do on Instagram, Facebook, and every other social media outlets. Send us DMs. We want to hear from you.
This is
Love in 60 Seconds.
60 seconds. Love in 60 seconds.
Hey everybody, this is Frederick and Jean Watts, and this is Love in 60 Seconds. We hope that you guys are doing well this evening. We have a good show coming up this evening, and we're glad that you guys are tuning in.
Yeah, my stuff is not working, but we are. My app is not working, but we're going to just continue to go on as we normally do. We hope everybody is doing well. As you guys are coming in, I'm trying to get into my app. Oh my gosh, and I have now done it. I have done it. So, amen. So I can go ahead and do my sharing.
Thank you guys for so much for tuning in. We appreciate you guys coming in each week. We had fun last week on our last topic and enjoyed you guys' engagement.
Yeah.
So as always, we appreciate the likes and share that you give us on Facebook. We like seeing your DMs through in the week, and we love hearing from you guys. So as always, if you get a chance, please like and share. Give us those hearts on Facebook. Let us know that you appreciate it. But more than that, please like and share with somebody who you think will enjoy what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And so tonight we're just going to continue on relationships and talking about some things in marriage. We won't be long tonight, but we found something that we wanted to share with you that we think was appropriate because our title is The Way You Make Me Feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
I think that's a great topic, because a lot of times we do not really take into account how we make our spouses feel by our actions. It can be, and sometimes I would even mention to my husband, I would say, hey, your body language is saying this, is this what you're giving off? Is this the vibe you're giving off? Or it could be an expression. You can express yourself in a way, or your facial expression can make your spouse feel a certain type of way. It can make your spouse, if you're looking at your spouse and you are frowned up at them, or you got this like a look of disrespect, or a look of contempt, just look, that's not crazy, or a look that's crazy, then that can make your spouse feel insecure. Mm-hmm. It can make them feel self-conscious. It can make them feel inferior. It can make them feel emasculated if they're a man. It can make them feel undesired if they're a woman. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that you can be and do as a spouse that really reflects on how you your spouse feels as a person. Right. Because a lot of time you get a lot, and especially if they're not really spending a whole lot of time consecrating the land before God, getting God's vision of who they are and being filled, which is what we should be doing, because we will depend less on that validation from our spouse. But if we're not doing that, and we get a lot of that validation from how our spouse treats us and how they look at us, because it's just in the way you look, and that's part of it, making your spouse. What's some other ways that you can make your spouse feel some type of way, good or bad?
Besides just your facial expressions, the way you speak to them, but your actions towards them, like how many times have maybe you both have had a long day, and like action could be, and you guys get together to go to sleep in the bed, and you both have your backs to each other. That's just something that can be interpreted as, oh, I'm tired. But no, if you haven't had any communication, and then when you get into bed to maybe go to sleep, and then you still don't acknowledge each other, that can make the spouse feel a certain type of way, unwanted, or not appreciated, or maybe not attractive, or desired even. So that's another way besides just facial expressions, and then always communication, what you say, and how you say it.
Absolutely. Speaking, we talk about these things all the time, speaking, curt or in a condescending tone or a mean tone to your spouse, or talking to your spouse in a way that's not appropriate, for people that are in love, that can make your spouse feel some type of way. Mm-hmm. So the Bible speaks about the way that we treat people, even not even your spouse, but just that agape, just the way that to have brotherly love, the way to show kindness and tenderness and meekness to a stranger. So we should definitely be showing it to people who we're married to. Mm-hmm. So the Bible talks about dwelling with your spouse, or dwelling with your wife. Let's just go there. Dwelling with your wife according to knowledge. Mm-hmm. So what does the Bible really say about that? So.
We'll say that to after the topic tonight, or after we have actually a little video that we wanted to play for you guys from Miles Monroe, and he actually had a topic that sort of goes with our topic, which is the way you make me feel. Yeah. And his topic, or what he was discussing, is just a quick 8-minute video, and he says that love does not make a marriage work. That's deep. That is really
we're gonna have to talk about that in and of itself and at another point, but yes, for sure.
And so I know some people are going like, what? You mean, wait a minute, love doesn't make a marriage work? So let's go and see what he has to say about that. Take a listen to this, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about it, how it makes us feel and how you make us feel. So we're gonna switch to that right now, and we'll be back in a moment.
I want to say this then, that love is not the foundation for marriage. This statement will cause problems. I know it will. Because we normally get married to someone because we say we are in love. Can I suggest to you, please, after being married for 32 years myself, had a very, very happy marriage. Not a bad day for 32 years. Can I say to you that love does not make marriage work? Don't be fooled by that. Whether it's a feeling that you say you have for someone, or an endearment to someone tells you good things. Don't get married because you love someone. I love aircrafts, but I can't fly them. You can love something and not know how to do it. So it isn't love that's the problem. It's knowledge to function in that. Let's talk a little bit about love in this session. Love does not keep marriage together. And I believe every divorced person here will agree with that statement. If you are divorced today, that means you were once in love with the person. So you didn't lack love. There were some other things that came up in the relationship that were stronger and more powerful than the love. Whether it was infidelity, unfaithfulness, whether it was abuse, physical abuse, or emotional abuse, or mental abuse, or whether it is neglect or irresponsibility in finances, something came up that became more powerful than the love you had for the person. Which means that love can save you. It's tough, isn't it? Write this down, please. Successful marriage is a result of the application of knowledge, not the exchange of love. You can be in love, young man, all you want. It doesn't make the woman the right woman. You can express your passion for this man all you want, but that love you for that man will make him the right man for you. And we need to get this fast, because you see, in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 7, it says, wisdom is supreme, so get wisdom. And in all you're getting, don't get love. Get what? Understanding. You want to understand what it is to be a woman, what it is to be a man, how to live with a human. You want to understand the idiosyncrasies of a female and the uniqueness of a male. You want to understand communication skills. You want to understand how to manage emotions and how to handle anger. You want to understand the dynamics of disagreements. You want to understand how to handle unfaithfulness, broken trust. You want to understand, because if you don't understand those things, you're going to dump that marriage. Many marriages today could have been saved. I'm sure of it. But the individuals didn't have the equipment, the knowledge to use to fix the situation. No marriage is irreparable, believe me. But most people either don't know or they're just so tired trying, they quit. And believe me, problems can make you tired. And this is why it's important for you to get understanding. I like what it says in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, one of my favorite verses in the Bible. It says, my people are destroyed for what? A lack of knowledge. Now, here's the part you always miss. It says, because you have what? Rejected knowledge, I will also reject you, says the Lord. God is saying that ignorance is a choice. Here's what's important here about this verse. You cannot reject something that was not available. I know, hey, I'm human too. I know you sit there and get tired of me saying, go buy this book. And you sit there and you got hell at home but walk past the bookstore. Do you know that all your problems that you're facing now are probably solved in a book in your house you haven't read? We reject knowledge. Have you ever sat in a session like this and you hear this kind of teaching and your first thought is, boy, he should have been here. Oh, they should have been here to hear this. What you're saying is they missed it. They rejected opportunity to get knowledge. And God says, because you reject knowledge, I also have to reject you, because I can't help you with what you don't know. And then he said something very important. He says, and you cannot be a priest before me. You see that there? The word priest means representative. God said, I don't want you to represent me and you are stupid. I don't want you to go to tell people you know me and you dumb. Stop saying praise the Lord and you can't handle your life. You haven't gotten the material to represent me and they tell everybody you know me. He said, don't tell anybody about me, please, because you are messing up my reputation. And here's the worst part. It ends with this. And I must also reject your children. What God is saying is, write this down. Ignorance is generational. What you don't know is transferred to your kids. So if you can't stay married and get it right, you got to be careful, because your kids may also be in danger of having the same problem that you have. Can you always remember this? Learn for your unborn children. Read a book for your unborn children. Go to a seminar for your unborn children, because that's what it's about. The less you know, the less they can learn. The more you learn, the more you can teach them. Because when you have information, you can transfer it to your children. God says you need to get understanding and knowledge.
All right, what'd you guys think about that? That's very dynamic.
I thought it was
very
awesome.
Dynamic. Love does not make a marriage work.
It does not.
And what an interesting topic, because what he said was that you can have love, but if you don't have wisdom, something that we talked about, having wisdom to apply principles to make your marriage work, it doesn't really matter how much love you got, right?
That's true. That is true.
That was a great video. So did you want to say something, Sarah?
No, I was just agreeing that it was very powerful and learn for not just for yourself, but he said for your unborn children, but not just your unborn children, but all of your children that are watching you now, because you may just be getting this, or you may just be understanding this information, and you may already have children, or your children may be growing, or your children may be grown, but they still learn as they watch you. So learn now what it takes to dwell with your partner, to dwell with your husband or wife according to knowledge. And it was that First Peter, the third chapter?
Bring that up for you right fast.
Okay.
3 and 7.
And it says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered. That's knowledge. A lot of times men, you may think that, if you mistreat your wife, it's just between you and your wife, but you hinder your prayers being answered. That man hinders his prayers being even answered or heard by mistreating his spouse.
Right. And it's, not just being hindered, because your wife is your grace. It's your favor.
Yes.
Yep. So a lot of times, we wonder why things may not be lining up the way we want to. We be a priest of our homes, doing all these things. It's because you're mistreating your favor.
Yeah.
And what Miles Monroe was saying is that as much as you love your favor, much as you love your wife, if you don't have the knowledge to understand that you can't really get to where God wants you to be without the wisdom to treat your wife correctly, then you're not going to have a successful marriage. So I love that topic, that yes, you got to be in love, and you are in love, but he addressed that divorced people loved each other. Divorced people love each other.
It's people that get divorced every day that love their spouse.
Yep, because they don't have the wisdom or the knowledge to apply tools to make their marriage effective.
Absolutely. And that's the reason that they throw the marriage away, or that's the reason that the marriage is not able to be reconciled. That's the reason that the marriage is not genuine, or they don't have the genuine love or the genuine fluidity in that relationship, and honesty and transparency and all of that. And then, he mentioned that he had been married for 32 years and had not had a bad day. That is phenomenal, because most people don't have that testimony. But once you get knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. That's the world says that, but the Bible says wisdom is the principal thing, or knowledge is the principal thing. It's the main thing that we need to be successful in relationships. And so if we dwell with our spouse according to knowledge, in Proverbs 4 and 7, what does that say, sweetheart?
It says what you said, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get an understanding. The Bible didn't say love was the principal thing.
It did not.
When it's talking about relationship, it says wisdom, because you need wisdom on how to deal with your spouse, how to deal with yourself, most of all, and then be able to apply the techniques to have a successful marriage.
Absolutely.
And when you really think about it, love is important, and you have to have it, but it's the principal thing.
And it never fails. Right. Love doesn't fail. Right. But to be successful, you have to have understanding. You got to have knowledge. You got to have wisdom.
You got to have that wisdom.
Yeah, because again, we said people that are married, they get divorced and still love their spouse.
Right.
Or separate or can't get things worked out. They love that person, but they can't work it out with that person because they don't do it in understanding. They don't do it in knowledge. And it takes knowledge. Like you said, it takes knowledge to get past broken trust. It takes understanding to get past, infidelity. It takes understanding to get past miscommunication and misunderstanding. It takes understanding to get rid of misunderstanding.
That's good.
So
And I like what he talked about, and this is something that a lot of people experience in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
He talked about when sometimes you don't get it right, or if your parents don't get it right, or the examples that you give to your children. He said that ignorance is generational.
Ooh, yeah.
And that is really a interesting topic, because, you're not just in this for yourself.
Right.
You should be you should be in this for your family. Your kids are watching how you treat your spouse, how you treat your husband,
Absolutely.
how you treat your wife. And if you don't give them an example of love and kindness, and an example of saying that, guess what, there are issues that come up, but it's how you address them, how you deal with them, how you love your spouse through a bad time or a good time. You don't want to be able to have an experience or have a relationship and don't give them the experience. And he even said that there's probably a book in your house
that can help
you. But because you don't go to the word, you don't go on the internet, you don't get any type of wisdom, you have nothing to apply to your situation to make it successful.
Absolutely. He even said that you cannot reject, and he said God rejected the people because they rejected knowledge. He said you can't reject knowledge if it's never been presented. So you have understanding that's been presented to you. You have the word that's been presented to you. Like he said, you may have books that have been presented. You have these tools that we put online. We have way more people that call us and DM us that ever come on our live.
Right.
So many more. And if you would just go on the live, we can just hang out. It's no, you know what I'm saying? That's no big deal being on the live. We just hanging out, having a good time, talking about marriage and relational things. If we would come on the live, then a lot of times you would stay out of trouble. You would stay out of complex situations.
Right. So tonight we're talking about the way you make me feel, and the side topic of being that love does not make a marriage work. And that is something that we could dwell on for a lot.
We'll have to bring back and teach that love does not make a marriage work. It makes a marriage seem fun and happy and all that when it's under proper, context. But it doesn't, it's not the thing that's not the glue that's going to hold the relationship together. It's understanding.
And Ravella said, a study to show thyself approved.
Absolutely.
You have to be able to apply wisdom and knowledge to relate. Just like if you have to discipline your child, you have to have some wisdom and knowledge to know how to discipline them in a way that they will learn from their mistakes.
Yes.
And that's the same thing. You have to have that wisdom. You still love your child, even though you discipline them. But if you discipline them in love, by not disciplining them or not giving what they need to correct the problem, then that love is not the thing that you need to be successful.
Absolutely.
It's the wisdom on how to discipline to change the behavior. And you need that in marriage as well, being able to have wisdom. The first wisdom is that to be able to, in an issue, to go to God. And to be like, Lord, is it me? Is it my wife? What is the situation? Show me how to do, and then show me how to address it. All thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. Whether it's getting up in the morning, whether it's praying, whether it's dealing with a crisis, whether it's dealing on how to manage your finances, whereas dealing on what school to send your child to. So many things. If you acknowledge God first, then he does direct your path.
Absolutely, he does. And again, that wisdom and that understanding, you have to seek God for that wisdom and understanding to understand your spouse, to understand your wife, to understand your husband. The Bible speaks specifically about a husband dwelling with his wife according to knowledge. That is so vital in a happy relationship. That is so vital in a godly relationship. That is so vital in a successful relationship. Dwelling with your wife according to knowledge. If you know certain things, then you will know how to behave, and you'll know how to not behave. You will know that there's certain triggers in your wife. If you do certain things, you will know how to handle that. Just even, for example, Mother's Day, my husband dwells with me during that time, according to knowledge, because, my mom is no longer with us. So he is very sensitive to how he treats me. And, just how what level of emotion I'm going to be at, because I don't know. You just never know what you're going to get, you know, for me. And normally I'm just chilling in the bed watching a movie or doing something, but he always, you know, surrounds me with things because he dwells with me according to knowledge. And because of that, you know, we're able to have, you know, successful relationship, and then he's not making me mad or making me upset, you know, during a time that could be very sensitive for me. So he dwells with me with love and understanding.
Like what Rosalind said, wisdom is vital. It's vital. If I wasn't wise on that day, that's going to make my marriage and everything in my home unhappy.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's just, you know, sometimes you have to be wise, and even when you are right.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's better to be wise and right, meaning that you have the right to say something or you have the right to do something, but wisdom may dictate something else.
Absolutely.
And then a lot of times when you do that, that's what grace is.
Yeah.
Because there's a whole mess of things that we could have did that God had the right to cut us off, but he's so wise and loving that he doesn't.
Nope.
And so we have to take that same grace and apply it in our relationship.
Absolutely. You have to show grace and show wisdom, you know, and, you know, we're getting ready to wrap up. But if there's things that, you know, that are triggers in your spouse, that are triggers in your husband, or triggers in your wife, dwell with them according to knowledge. Know what not to do to make it. Everybody have a bad day. Everybody going to have a bad day if you do this, or everybody going to have a bad day if you bring this up. Everybody's going to have a bad day if you do not treat this area with care. You know what I'm saying? Know what you're dealing with. Dwell according to knowledge. And then, you know, if I cross this line, then I know my wife is going to be hurt. I know my wife is going to be upset. I know my husband's going to be disappointed. I know my husband's going to feel less than a man if I cross this line. If I say this thing, or if I treat him or her in this way, I'm going to make them feel a certain type of way. And then again, if my spouse is, you know, like my husband, I you know, earlier on in our relationship, I would, you know, make sure, hey, you know, you got to watch your expression with me when you talk to me, or watch your tone, because if you don't watch your expression and your tone, then, and I'll be saying, you know, well, why are you looking at me? And he would be like, what are you talking about? Why are you saying that? Why are you saying I'm saying? Because that's what you're doing. You're looking at me like, you know, this, you don't look at me like that, or don't look at me in that way. And so he had to begin to watch his expression and his face, because, you know, to me, he was sending me a message that wasn't even an accurate message, but it was sending me a message that was not, you know, true to context. Right. So you got to learn. And ladies, we got to do the same thing. If we look at our husband in a certain way, or we riding in the car and I'm looking at him like, you know, chump, you done messed up again, or you don't kick somebody when they down. If they made a mistake, or if they did something, or if they messed up, or they missed something, you can't be looking at them like, you know what I'm saying? Just like in disgust. You can't look at them in disdain. You can't look at them like they're, because looks, like, you know, the saying, if looks could kill. Sometimes your looks are killing. Your looks are killing your spouse, killing them slowly. You stabbing them in the neck because of how you're looking at them, just the way you're looking at them. So you got to look at, and I make sure that I am cognizant. The majority of the time, I'm not perfect. I don't get it all right. And sometimes I may have something else in my mind, but when my husband looks, even when he looks my way, even if it's a situation that, oh gosh, you know, something, you know, we should have did this, or something should have happened, that I have a pleasant look and a look of approval on my face when my husband looks at me. And when I have that look of approval, and I have that look of pleasant, or if I'm smiling, then he can still move forward, and he can still feel my support, and can still feel my love. And I'm not making him feel less than a man. I'm not making him feel, I'm not hurting him.
Right. I saw somebody said 13 years later, I think Rosalind, she was talking about that they're still learning. Yeah, we've been married 20 plus years, and we're still learning. Yeah. But because that's knowledge, we're always gaining every day wisdom and knowledge on how to be a better husband, how to be a better spouse. Yeah. And that's what is important. So even though you may still have the love for your spouse, and like that's such a great example. Miles Monroe said there are so many divorced people that loved each other. Yeah. So you have to have wisdom and knowledge to apply principles. There we go. Highlights again. That's going to give you what you need to be successful. So once again, that's it for tonight. Hope that you guys have enjoyed that. That was such a good video. We really enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. As always, follow us on our social media. Here in the bottom, we got Instagram at Wattsup Entertainment. We have Facebook at Wattsup Entertainment, and then over there on YouTube, Wattsup Video. And also, we want to send a shout out to all of you. Once again, happy Mother's Day. And then we appreciate you guys, those that just made Jazz is one of our son's song, Mom and a Million, go viral. If you haven't happened to listen to the song, download it. It's a great way to celebrate your mother, the mother figure in your life. His video is on YouTube, and it's also being played nationally as well as the song. So we appreciate you guys tuning in and helping us in that area. And as always, we love to hear from you. Thank you for engaging with us tonight, and as always, and then DM us throughout the week. Absolutely,
throughout the week, we still are listening, and we're still answering your questions and your DMs. I know many of you still continue to do so. Certainly reach out to us on Facebook. You can even reach out to my personal Facebook page, to ask questions and things like that. But this week, let's be cognizant of how we look when we're addressing our spouse, and how we speak when we're addressing our spouse, and dwell with our spouse according to knowledge. Let's get to know something about our spouse this week that you don't know, or you haven't known, and you may have to ask some questions, or you may have to be a little bit more observant. But let's do that this week, everybody. And I'm going to do it too. I'm going to be more cognizant, and I'm going to ask some questions, or I'm just going to observe so that I can know my husband better. Because let me tell you, I don't know how long ago you guys have been married. I saw both Roz's on here, Rosalind Bilberry and Rosalind Mitchell. Both of you guys, you say you've been married 13 years, but I don't care if you got married 2 days ago or 20 years ago or 200 years ago. I don't know. That would be interesting. But anyways, but whoever you were when you got married, you are no longer that person. Yeah. And your spouse is no longer that person. I promise you, you are different people. And you're going to be different people 2 years from now. So get to know the person that you're with now, and not the person that you used to be with, because you're both growing. And that's how you keep growing in the same direction. Getting to know that person.
Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in tonight, and we'll see you guys next week, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Once again, please like and share this with somebody that you think will enjoy this, our topic tonight. And we will see you guys next week. This has been Frederick and Jane Watts.
This is Love in 60 Seconds. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Well, guys, we have to wrap it up this evening. We really hope that you've enjoyed our conversation.
Yes, this conversation has been amazing, and we want you to tune in again next time so that we can discuss more of these amazing topics and these topics of interest. Then don't forget to DM us, contact us, reach out to us, and we will definitely respond back.
This has been Love in 60 Seconds. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
All right. Good night, everybody.
60